How's everyone doing on today's live stream? I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Very excited to be back. Missed all of you. The market has been very shaky, right? But we have been seeing Andy on base taking off and currently at 20 million plus market cap, so 22 million market cap. We've actually did talk about this the last couple days ago. We were talking about this last week within this range of the POC, point of control, using the fixed range volume indicator, and we talked about how if we were to break this, we were going to be making new all-time highs. So is this a fake out, or is this the next rally where it's going to take Andy to 80 plus million market cap, right? So stay tuned on today's live stream. We will be talking about Andy, base tokens. We're going to go ahead and look at the overall structure of Bitcoin, and is a short squeeze coming in, right? I hope all of you are having a good one today. Yeah, I'm starting the stream a little late today. I've been just getting set up, but appreciate you happy for being here today. Let me go ahead and start shilling this with the community. And let me go ahead and pull it out on my mobile device as well, so I can make sure that we are officially live. It looks like we are live, which is a good sign. So let me go ahead and check. Yes, we are officially live. Awesome. I'm assuming audio sounds good. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, so it seems like audio sounds perfect. So let me go ahead and start sharing this with everybody. Give me 1 second. That's the wrong group chat right here. We are live. Okay, we got that going. Now let me go ahead and pull out my Discord real quick. Awesome possum. So let's go ahead and get this live stream going. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. We're going to go ahead and start off with Bitcoin, because you know how important Bitcoin is overall with the whole entire market. It looks like we did kind of end the day today at a neutral with the stock market. Bitcoin does seem to be slightly recovering. We did have a dump yesterday leading onto the week. Typically behavior that we always see with Bitcoin, right? I was actually shorting Bitcoin and I got stopped out, and I got wrecked this weekend, honestly. Same thing with Brett. I was shorting Brett. That did kind of good. And then just a lot of fake outs, man. I think I'm just not going to leverage trade meme tokens anymore. I think I might have talked about this in the past, and I have this tendency to forget. But dude, leverage trading meme tokens, it is horrible, man. It's like the liquidations that they push you through, they stop you out. Like literally I was shorting Brett the whole entire time, and they stopped me out of my position multiple times, and they also liquidated me. And then as soon as they liquidated me, the market dumped to where I knew it was gonna happen, right? So I think I'm just kind of done with these meme tokens right now, at least with leverage. I think Bitcoin might be your best bet, but even then, right now it's been super volatile with the market. But if you are looking to go ahead and leverage trade, go ahead and check out Blofin down below. No KYC, is very similar to Bybit Exchange if you have used Bybit, and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. So let's go into Bitcoin and what we could be expecting in the coming days, right? So looking at Bitcoin, as all of you know, a lot of people are freaking out right now at the moment. They really do believe that Bitcoin has finally topped. And we've been talking about this bull flag pattern that has been printing on the daily, right? So it looks like right now, just looking overall on the market, it looks really healthy and bullish in my opinion. We're seeing the RSI getting ready to cross. We're seeing Bitcoin hold its nice support at around $61,000. Obviously, if that could change, so let's go ahead and keep that in mind. If we do see Bitcoin continue to get rejected either at this $64,000 range or even at $66,000, do expect Bitcoin to come back down. The major area that we should be aware of to be very bearish on Bitcoin is if we do go ahead and close below $59,000, right? Ideally $58,000, $57,000. That would give us an indicator that this is probably more than likely going to come down over here to the zone. I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anything, this is going to push up even higher. I do expect Bitcoin to create that short squeeze as we talked about, and it looks like it is forming that inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? So it looks like that inverse head and shoulders pattern might be actually being formed, and we will be reaching that $85,000 range as we have been talking about, right? So I'm really hoping Bitcoin decides to do its thing very, very quickly in order for meme coin and altcoin season to happen. But we are already getting signs of that coming very, very soon, right? So let's go ahead and go into the smaller time frames on the 4 hourly. Looking at the 4 hourly right now, we are seeing that we are entering this area of resistance, but as soon as we do go ahead and break through this range right here at around $54,000 and we hold above it, I could and I do believe we will go ahead and see Bitcoin have this area of support being found right here and then retesting the $67,000 range, right? So once we do break through that $67,000 range, do keep in mind we are probably more than likely going to be breaking past every resistance pretty quickly. I haven't looked at the I haven't looked into where the liquidations are for Bitcoin this time. Let me, what is it? It's not Glassnode, is it? I'm pretty sure it's probably going to come out. Liquidation heat map. Okay, there you go. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at the liquidation. So it's CoinGlass. That's what I meant. I actually caught a really nice short on Bitcoin I think it was over the weekend or on Friday, dude. Like Bitcoin just dumped. I literally entered a nice little freaking short and I walked that thing all the way down. That thing was fun. I'm kind of noticing a pattern when it comes to entering a lot of these positions, whether you're bullish or you're bearish. I've noticed that you want to pay attention to where the liquidity grab is going to be happening in order for you to take advantage of the market, right? So let's go ahead and see if there's any liquidation points. It looks like there isn't on the 24-hour. What about on the weekly? Do we see anything on the weekly? Okay, so we do see that they're on the weekly. We do see a lot at around $64,000. So I think that either might get triggered or has already. Okay, so it's 64,510. About 319 million shorts will go ahead and get liquidated. So it looks like we will probably more than likely break through that $64,000 range and go flying towards that 67,000 in no time. Keep in mind the next zone of liquidation is around 65,000. Then we have 65,350. Then we have 65,600. So realistically, it looks like once we start squeezing to the upside, we will see Bitcoin run up to these areas, as I mentioned. And this was without me even knowing that these were areas of liquidations, right? Once we start getting this momentum back in the market, we are going to see Bitcoin recover quite quickly at around that $67,000 range. And we're going to see it probably cool down a bit before we have an initial run up towards retesting that $71,000 range up to that $85,000 range that I do believe we will be approaching, right? So welcome everybody. White Crypto Buddy got news about Gari Network. They just launched Gari Trading Bot and it's 0 trading fees. We'll take a look, and some fees going to airdrop with Gari tokens. Nice, man. Yeah, most definitely. I'll go ahead and check it out right now in a bit. We'll go ahead and make sure we have this right here saved. Hope you're having a good one, bro. So let's see. That's pretty good. That's pretty interesting how they're doing a Telegram bot now. So okay, so let's go ahead and go back into this. Let's finish up this Bitcoin TA, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about other tokens, and we could go ahead and do the shills. But overall, Bitcoin's looking pretty solid in my opinion. Looking at the DXY, it looks like it now has finally found that area of support. As I mentioned, I do expect some sort of consolidation within this range before retesting this 106 plus and then trying to break that area of resistance, right? So obviously as the dollar goes up, it's technically usually a bad sign for Bitcoin, but it doesn't follow all the time. You know, Bitcoin actually, I think on the daily actually ended on the green today. Yeah, reversal, and Bitcoin actually reversed today, literally just now, right? So it's quite interesting. I also believe we could probably be seeing some sort of a breakout happening with the DXY very soon, but we're probably going to consolidate, entertain this range for a while before Bitcoin does its thing, right? So DXY is looking okay. If we go ahead and take a look at the fear and greed chart, we do see right now we are currently at the level of 67 of greed, over 51.3% of Bitcoin dominance. So it looks like people are getting a little bit more bullish with the market, right? So let's go ahead and head over to crypto bubbles and look at the hourly. So it looks like a lot of tokens right now, specifically the altcoins, have slightly recovered for the day. As far as the daily, we are still at a neutral level. A little bit of selling pressure, I would say, more on that side. Also keep in mind, we do have, I think FOMC meeting is on this Wednesday. Predictions are that interest rates won't be cut, which is bullish for the market. And they're thinking that there's a possibility rate cut that we'll be seeing around September. Typically around rate cuts, what we've noticed, I wish I've had the data to show you, but you can go ahead and check out Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, he kind of explains it a little bit more, Max. And it seems like every time, usually when we have the interest rate cuts, we usually see a market correction, right? We see the stock market correct, which is not good for crypto. As I always mention, the stock market is very correlated to crypto, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, right? So with that being said, I do think hopefully we'll see where things go, but also keep in mind this here is a U.S. presidential selection, right? So we're going to go ahead and see what candidate is going to be selected as a president this year. It's quite interesting where we're at. As I mentioned, they're saying there's going to be a possibility they cut interest rates by fourth quarter, so around the October, November, or December range. Typically that means that we might have to be exiting a lot of our positions then if we do go ahead and get that interest rate cut, and how the market reacts, right? As well, depending on who gets chosen as the president, right? Obviously, if Trump gets elected, it's going to be very, very bullish market. People are going to get excited. Trump wants a weaker dollar, and as well wants to go ahead and pump easy money into the stock market, which will then go into risk on tokens or assets such as cryptocurrencies, right? So it's quite an interesting time. As I mentioned, it is something we have to be aware of in quarter four. I'll definitely go ahead and keep my eyes locked on what we could be expecting. But in the meanwhile, we still have plenty of room left. We are in around, I think we're in May. We're about to end April. So we have May, June, July, August, September. If you go ahead and say the top might be within the next 5 to 8 months, or maybe around the 6 range, right? So we're going to go ahead and see how this market behaves, but just keep in mind, there's a possibility we have about 5 to 8 months left of this market. So we're going to go ahead and see where things go. As I mentioned, it could get extended leading into 2025, mid first quarter going into March, right? That's where maybe the market tops in, and now we're due for a correction, right? So we'll see where things go. Maybe we have a bullish freaking year of 2025 as well, where the market just runs up leading into Q4 of 2025, and that'll be great because that means we'll literally be printing money for almost another year and a half, right? So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and take a look at the US 100. As we talked about the US 100, I did expect some sort of reversal coming in. We did see this RSI cross on the daily. Right now, we're going to go ahead and probably either see two things happen right here with the US 100, where we might slightly have another red day, and then we're going to go ahead and break through that rally, or we might just break through this range right here, very easy, around the 1800, 200, and then continue to make new all-time highs on the stock market. As I mentioned, we do have a big news this week, so do expect a lot of volatility. We are still following this cup and handle pattern on the monthly, so also keep that in mind, right? So everything is still looking kind of neutral, but do expect a lot of volatility this week. A lot of people are kind of panicking with what's going to happen this week. We're going to have jobless reports as well, and we're going to go ahead and see what's going on with inflation, right? So as I mentioned, they don't expect to cut rates until Q4 of this year is what they're predicting. That could always go ahead and change. I hope they might just go ahead and entertain it for a while, where there's, possibly thinking of cutting rates Q4, but they're like, hey, you know what? How about we don't cut rates just yet, and we continue to pump this market, right? So we'll see where things go in the next coming months. But as I mentioned, overall, the market looks bullish. How's it going, Tillery? Hope you're having a good one, bro. Long time no see, dude. How you been? How you been hitting it with the Solana tokens? So overall, market looks good, guys. As I mentioned, do not panic. Everything is good. I think right now this is the best time to dollar cost average. So that's pretty much a technical analysis with Bitcoin and the overall sentiment of the economy, I guess. As I mentioned, be very careful leverage trading this week. It's going to be a very, very volatile week. So do expect a lot of volatility due to those news that we will have Wednesday. So leading into this is a very important week for us. It's going to determine exactly where Bitcoin, the crypto market, and where altcoins / meme coins could be heading, right? So if we are positioning ourselves and it is bullish news, we could have a massive altcoin / meme coin rally following alongside with Bitcoin, right? So fingers crossed that we go ahead and end the month great and we start May making a lot of freaking money. So we're going to go ahead and talk about Andy, because it's one of the tokens I've been heavily bullish since the beginning, since at these ranges over here when I was talking about it. And the Andy community has been freaking growing, man. So we actually talked about some technical analysis a few days ago about this point of control right here with the fixed range indicator. The fixed range indicator indicates typically where a lot of volatility or volume will be coming in, and we talked about how where this red line is, or this line right here in the middle, we talked about how this is the range of a point of control, and if we were to break that, we will be seeing a massive run to the upside, right? And that's exactly what we predicted. It did take us a few days to go ahead and talk about within this range. We literally patiently waited a little bit over 5 days, which literally felt like almost a month. Like, that's the thing with crypto, right? With crypto, 1 week almost feels like a whole entire month. So we were able to call that, and I'm really liking with where Andy's going. It's the TA has been doing pretty well, right? We've been able to respect these levels. It doesn't mean that this can't be a fake out, but based on what we're looking at, Andy, with the data, with this point of control breakout just happening in the area of resistance, this is a very bullish freaking sign. And a lot of you should probably already be deeply in profits if you entered a position these last couple days, right? We did see Andy run up from, I think it was under 18 million plus market cap, although I think even as low as 15 to 14 million, currently at about 22 million market cap, I believe. So I do expect that this next run up with Andy will be taking us with no hype. I'm not even trying to hype it up, guys. I do think we will be seeing about an 80 plus million market cap. Keep in mind, we are at a 22 million market cap. So if we were to go ahead and do the calculations, we're not too far away, right? What is 22? Let's just go ahead and do times 3. That's going to take us a 66. A 3x will be a 66 million market cap, and a 22 times, let's just say, call it 5. A 5x will take us to 110 million market cap, which we saw Andy on ETH hit over 180 plus million market cap, right? As I mentioned, one of the main reasons why I'm bullish on Andy on base is one, due to the supply being a lot less than the one on ETH, and as well, our community has been growing like crazy. We have over 22,000 holders, and I do believe we will continue to grow, right? So Andy on base, what a lot of people are sleeping on is that we have a smaller supply compared to Andy on ETH. And as I mentioned, we typically have this thing where every time Andy on ETH dumps, Andy on base pumps, right? People ask me, John, what token should I be invested in? Should I be invested on Blast? Should I be invested on Andy on Solana? Should I be invested on Andy on ETH? And that's a great question, and I really wish I had an answer, but we really don't know which one's going to take off, right? It's going to be up to the community where they wanted to take Andy, which blockchain we're going to take, and is going to be, I guess, the king when it comes to all of this. Your best bet would just be putting your money on all of them and seeing where things go. That way you're exposed to all of them and you have a higher chance of hitting them. But I do believe Andy on base is going to be the chosen one. Andy on ETH, the good thing about it is that it's kind of like the face for Andy on base, if that makes any sense. Andy on ETH has already been listed on a lot of exchanges. They've already approached an over 180 million plus market cap. There's a lot of influencers that have been pushing Andy on ETH very, very heavily, and they will continue to push it. So I think that, in my opinion, Andy on ETH, their success determines a lot of how Andy on base is going to do, right? So we would wish and hope that Andy on ETH could do very, very well. That way, when people are seeing Andy on base, we're going to be like, hey, you know what? We miss out on Andy on ETH. Let's go ahead and throw our money on base, right? And that's kind of where my prediction is heading. Even if you see on the decentralized side of things, they only have 11,000 holders. Keep in mind, they are trading on most major exchanges such as Mexi, so we don't know how many holders are there, but based on the DEX alone, they only have 11,000 holders, and Andy on base has 22,000 holders with no exchange listing and barely started to get some influencer marketing going, right? As I mentioned, their supply is almost at 1 trillion. We have our supply at 1 billion, so we're kind of meant to do and go higher than them, right? If you go ahead and look at their tokens, look how many zeros they have compared to what we have, right? Obviously, it's going to be more attractive for Andy on ETH, but realistically, this is the reason why you have to be aware of how supply market cap works, because look how many zeros they have, and look at where we're at. We're close to approaching literally our next zone. I do believe we will be approaching close to that. It's a possibility within the next couple months we could be getting towards that 10 to 25 cents, and this is where I believe Andy will be heading, right? If you go ahead and measure from, I guess, this top from where we're at, this is only a 7x, guys, 7x. So if you go ahead and calculate that, 22 million times a 7, that would take us to 154 million market cap, right? That is really, really realistic, and that will take us towards that 18 to 22 cent range, right? So as I mentioned, we do have a lower supply, more holders, and we haven't yet gone listed on any exchanges. I do believe this next run up will be around the 60 to the 80 million plus market cap, I hope. And we're gonna go ahead and see where things go. You know, Andy on base is, and just the base blockchain in general, is something that I'm betting myself, and I'm very, very confident in, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see where things go in the next coming weeks, but I do expect Andy on base to continue to run up. Since we talked about it and we've been calling it these last couple weeks with this run up, that's already a 1x, right? So I got in within this range over here at the bottom, and I just been dollar cost averaging my position and just been holding. So I'm up a little bit over an 8x, which is nice. Another token that I'm very bullish on is Benny. Right now we are seeing a lot of these tokens take a dip. So I would consider, obviously none of this is financial advice, is dollar cost average into the tokens that you truly believe in, right? I'm looking at Benny as well. We called out Benny last couple days ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken, within this range. And I told a lot of you, wait for it. That was like about a 5x. I told a lot of you, do not buy as is going green. And if you do decide to buy, dollar cost average, because we are going to have a 50 to an 80% correction. And if you measure this top to this bottom, we've had already over a 69% correction, and we are still currently looking for the bottom, right? I do think the bottom is near. Keep in mind, this is the previous area of resistance, and so far right now it looks like it's trying to hold that pretty nicely, but we're going to go ahead and see where it goes. As I mentioned, worst comes to worst, Benny drops another 65%, which will take us down to this last previous area of support, which at the end of the day, if you zoom out, it's still pretty bullish. Same thing with Benny. I was in this thing since back over here under 1 million to a million plus market cap. Holding on to my position still pretty nicely. I do think this is going to be something like Myro on base, right? The reason why is Benny is the Coinbase's director's dog, right? They actually have a few things that are really bullish, I guess, if you want to consider it bullish. They have staking, where you could go ahead and do staking. They also have their own swap that you could go ahead and swap on the website. I wonder if they have some sort of white paper and it tells you if they're doing any kind of burn on the exchange or the swap that they have. But honestly, man, I really don't care. I'm just really betting on the narrative. I think people are going to relate to that little dog. And as I mentioned, it is on base and it has a very low circulating supply at 9,993 million, right? So it's almost close to that billion mark on supply. But I mean, look at this amount of holders. We have over 10,000 holders. When I was in, it was under 3,000 if I can remember correctly. So I've literally been with Benny as well since the beginning, back over here at around I think it was around March, or like towards the end of March. So I've been in with Benny since back over here, right? So even with this correction, my bags are still pretty nice in gains, but I'm definitely not satisfied just yet. And I do believe that this next run up will go ahead and take Benny with another additional 4 to 10x, which could be taking us to 10 million or 20 million plus market cap, because I do believe that our top right here was at 9 million. So let's go ahead and say 10 million was our top. That means we will go ahead and see the next run up taking us to around 20 to 40 million plus market cap. No hype. As I mentioned, as more people start to discover Base and we start getting those smart wallet integrations with Coinbase, we will have more people pouring into Base in general, right? And I do think Ben will be one of the selected tokens. It would be very similar to Myro is what my comparison is. And look at where Myro's at, right? So that's where my prediction kind of is. If we go ahead and take a look at DeFi Llama, we have been seeing a massive inflow of money coming into Base chain. I do believe it's going to surpass Solana this bull run. I could be wrong, but I don't think we're that far away from beating Solana, right? As far as building, we have already more protocols in Solana. As far as wallet addresses, Solana has about 756,000 and Base has 359,000, right? So I do believe we will be approaching that very soon. And if you see this kind of volume that we're getting, Base right now is at 388 million of volume, with Solana being at 704 million in volume, right? 24-hour volume. So we're literally doing less, like almost about 50 to 60% less than Solana. And just wait till more people start to catch on Base and start transacting in Base. I do believe we will be surpassing Solana this bull run. I could be wrong, but like I said, I see more value in Base blockchain. I really like what I'm seeing, and I really do believe that Coinbase is going to do whatever it takes to dominate. Keep in mind, Coinbase is a publicly traded company. They're in a NASDAQ exchange, so they're looking to go ahead and profit and excite their investors as much as possible. So I'm sure Coinbase is going to come in here to dominate and become the top 5 freaking blockchain to be used, right? We're already top 6. I do believe Arbitrum is going to be surpassed as well, but I do see Base, in my opinion. Maybe I'm being a little too excited and giving too much credit on Base, right? But I do think and I do see Base being alongside with Ethereum, maybe underneath, or maybe surpassing Binance Smart Chain, right? So we'll see where things go. I could be wrong. Also keep in mind, these blockchains have been out longer than Coinbase or Base. Base is a layer 2 to Ethereum, so it is practically running on the Ethereum blockchain, and that's the reason why I am bullish on it, right? As far as value wise, it would make sense why you should be bullish on Base, in my opinion. I don't think it takes a brain surgeon to understand that, but unfortunately, even with proof, people will still deny and still have doubts. And this is data that I'm showing you, factual data, and we're not that far away from surpassing the top tokens, right, guys? So keep that in mind. And even with Tron, where Tron did about $15 million in volume today on the 24 hours, Solana beating them, and also Binance Smart Chain alongside Base, right? So obviously I'm sure some of those big players are there for a reason, but we're not that far away. Solana at a 5 billion TVL and Base at 1.5, and you're like, John, well, we're far away from Solana. Well, I agree. That means there's more opportunity and more money to be made right now on Base, right? So I think that's it's pretty good data in my opinion. I don't know how people feel about that. But let's go ahead and take a look at, I wanted to go ahead and show you some tweets, and then we'll go into, actually, let's go back into some base tokens, right? So looking overall at the base tokens, we do see there's a massive correction overall. I was betting on that token Bowden. I don't know how Bowden's going to do. I only threw in another additional $70 at this bottom, but it just continues to dump. We'll see where things go, but I'm kind of losing hope on this token, to be honest. I'm already quite down on this. So like right now, I'm only focusing on two bags, which is Base and Andy. And then another token that I'm considering is Ski Mask Dog, running at 29.97 million market cap with 27,000 holders. I've been talking about Ski Mask since back over here around April. I actually saw the day it launched. Like I wasn't part of the launch, but I saw it launch and I saw it running up. And I just decided to put it on my watch list and see where things go, right? I did went ahead and put this area of resistance with this breakout, and that's exactly what happened, right? So far, this is also respecting the charts pretty well with $1.23 million in 24-hour volume with a supply at 1 billion. The reason why I'm bullish on this, Ski Mask Dog, this is, you got to remember, we had the narrative of dog with hats. And I think this is what the narrative is going to be for Coinbase, or Base's blockchain is going to be Ski Mask. So maybe we might see a Ski Mask with cats. That might be the next move, but I do think Ski Mask Dog will be the play. That's my comparison. As I mentioned, I haven't loaded up on a position yet, unfortunately. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that my my Benny and Andy bags get me some nice fat profits in order for me to drop and move some money into Ski Mask stock, because I do believe that this is going to be very bullish in my opinion. And it seems like they have their own sound. Yeah, so I think it's a pretty funny, cool narrative, and people just love dogs, man. Like, what can I say? I mean, Dogecoin and SHIB are going to be running, and we're gonna have Ski Mask Dog being the meme. I feel like I already see this happening, right? You kind of have to be a visionary in this game when it comes to the memes. But a lot of fun going on with Brett as well. We talked about this. I think we talked about this. I'm not too sure. I can't remember if we did talk about this, but maybe we didn't talk about it. But Brett has been having a lot of fun. It turns out that people are saying that Crash, for any of those that have been living under a rock, Crash is a YouTuber, trader, I guess if you want to call him. I've been following him for a while, for about almost a year, and I faded a lot of his calls, man. And now with people, even with Brett, I faded it, right? So since I saw that I've faded on Brett, I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to transition into Base, and I'm going to learn how to do this, because I'm no longer fading on not just Brett, but I'm not missing out on another Brett or this new blockchain, right? So I'm glad I made that transition and opened up my eyes. But right now with Brett, what's going on is there's a lot of FUD being created. Supposedly that Crash is the creator and the person behind Brett in the team. They're saying all this about the whitelist. There's some whitelist wallets that have a huge percentage of ownership into a lot of these tokens, which a lot of other tokens have as well. Dogecoin, SHIB, they own a lot of the supply, over 50 to 60% of the supply, right? So I think if Crash was the dev behind Brett, I think that's bullish, man. I don't see how that's bearish at all. Seems like a lot of these influencers are just getting booty tickled due to the fact that, they didn't have a successful project such as Brett. Keep in mind, I don't have any investments in Brett. I do think that we will go ahead and potentially probably go lower. I was actually shorting Brett over the weekend. I made a little bit of money, and then I got wrecked because it stopped me out of my position and liquidated me, right? But as you can see, Brett hasn't really been doing much. Keep in mind as well that before Brett started to correct, it corrected at around the zone right here with over a 56% correction. So to me, I really don't mind it. I'm glad to see where Brett's going, and I hope Brett goes lower in order for me to load up on a position. So for me, Brett at these levels, it's a no-brainer to load up. I think a lot of FUD will continue to go, but one thing you also have to keep in mind, Brett dumped a lot because he got listed on Bybit and Mexi with leverage, and typically when a lot of these tokens get listed with leverage, they usually see a massive dump because you get a lot of these shorts shorting down all the way down as low as they can, right? So I do expect Brett to potentially possibly have another correction, taking us down to another 70%, I think, or even maybe another 50% correction. Just keep that in mind. Don't freak out if you were to go ahead and see that. As I mentioned, if you are still bullish on Brett, just dollar cost average, man. What's going on right now in the space of crypto? A lot of these influencers have been doing this for years, man. They have been doing it for a while, and they continue to do it. A lot of these top influencers pump their own tokens, they dump it into their viewers, and they rinse and repeat, and they act like they were early investors, right? A lot of these Twitter influencers do the same thing. So it's like everybody's like stabbing each other in the back. I think they're just mad at Crash for being more successful, making more money. And he's actually not that bad of a trader, right? So, as I mentioned, I'm not related to Brett. I don't have a bag of Brett. I hope it dumps more so I can get in at a better entry later down the line. But I do think Brett is going to be one of those tokens that will do well on its own. I don't think it's going to dump unless, there's more influencer FUD and they continue to short. And honestly, opening up leverage with the FUD just doesn't do any better, right? It makes Brett dump even faster and quicker, right? So as I mentioned, to me is no concern. They have over 150,000 holders. That's just on the DEX alone, with over 3 million in volume on the 24-hour volume. Keep in mind the supply is quite a little bit high. I mean, it's at 10 billion, so it's not as bad as other tokens, but as I mentioned, it just depends on how you feel. I wouldn't ever suggest any of you to listen to influencers to begin with. Obviously, what I talk about just solely my opinion, and I'm talking to you as a friend, right? Friend of friend, being completely honest with you. And I've told a lot of my community members, even a lot of the plays that I call don't go well, and there's things that are outside of my control. And there's obviously deals that I sometimes do get from coins that I decide not to promote or talk about because I might, one, not believe in it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But if I was to get to a point where I do get offers with tokens, keep in mind that I'll definitely go ahead and let everybody know that I am somewhat associated to it or whatnot. But a lot of these influencers won't tell you any of that, so just watch out. I got burned a lot last bull run with a lot of these influencers, so I literally don't listen to any influencers when it comes to plays. Maybe I'm missing out on money, but I already got wrecked last bull run, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone wrecked or are probably getting wrecked listening to influencers. So what I'm showing you, this is just information and data, and I'm just keeping you up to date, right? You can go ahead and decide to do whatever you want. As I mentioned, what I tell you is a friend of friend talk, and I'm just here to educate you, right? You can go ahead and make your own decisions. For me personally, I already told you, I've been deep in with Andy and Benny since the beginning. And if any of the teams are watching this, dude, reach out with a deal, man. I would love to be part of the freaking team or like get a deal done. But regardless of the fact, like I really believe in these narratives, and I'm mostly just sticking to the chart. So whatever the chart tells us, that's what I'm sticking to. So a lot of you have to learn how to understand the data that we're being given and then make your own prediction. And what I'm making my predictions on is based on data. You have to be patient when it comes to these tokens. A lot of these tokens might run up, but what I could go ahead and tell you, they're always going to come crashing down 50+% corrections. I mean, look at what Ski Mask Dog ran up to. It dumped over 77%. From 77%, it did a 7x, and from a 7x from this top to this bottom, it corrected a 50%. right? So a lot of these pumps and dumps happen very common. So your best bet, I would say, is just to dollar cost average on the tokens you believe in. Even with Andy, I remember getting in Andy right here near the top, and it literally dumped 75%, and I was almost freaking out. But I decided to dollar cost average because I believed in a narrative, and because I was able to hold through, I gained over a 10x from that. And then I saw my portfolio dump again, another 72%, and guess what I did? I dollar cost average again, and then I saw my portfolio ran back up to its previous high and then dump, and now I'm getting close to reaping new all-time highs, right? So it's all about patience. I'm playing this game 3 to 6 months down the line. I'll go ahead and show you some charts as to the reason why I'm bullish with this meme coin altcoin season, and why you should maybe consider it as well, right? White Crypto Bro, can we talk about Garibot? Yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit, bro. Give me 1 second. So looking at this Bitcoin census post, we see fascinating parallels between Bitcoin and NASDAQ. On the monthly chart, Bitcoin is consolidating above the 21 high monthly level, mirroring the NASDAQ in 2012. History might be repeating itself. And as you see right here, Bitcoin sitting above a triangle top, and this is the NASDAQ right here back in 2012, where it was doing something very similar to Bitcoin, and it had new all-time highs being created. And this is exactly why I'm telling you there's a huge correlation between crypto and the stock market, right? So there's some evidence there to back up with all the information that I've been saying. We also have this trader right here, and we'll talk about Gary right now. Give me 1 second. Let me just run through these tweets. Pay attention to the moving average. Historically, it has hit during every cycle top. It's hovering around 155,000 per Bitcoin. Could this be the key indicator for the next phase of the market? And as I told a lot of you, my predictions is around $180,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin this bull run. I don't see it going any higher than that. Maybe I could be wrong, but we also see this other person, this other trader, saying ready for the next move of Bitcoin. According to this trader's Elliott wave theory analysis, we're nearing the end of the second ABC correction and gearing up for an impulsive 5-wave move, potentially aiming for $222,000. So this guy is also predicting that Bitcoin will continue to go up higher with my analysis. And as I mentioned, I see Bitcoin going anywhere between the ranges of 180,000. As I mentioned, my tops being 250, but I don't see it going any higher than that. This guy's saying 220. I'm sticking within the range of around 180 to 250 max, but I don't see it going any higher than that, right? I'm thinking more towards the $200,000 range will be the top, but time will tell, right? Maybe we hit 400,000. So check this out right here as well. This is the last one before we talk about Gari token. And you could go ahead and feel free to show any more tokens. I actually have a few more that I need to look at, so I lied to you. So give me a few more tweets real quick, and we'll start shilling these tokens. So take a look at this one right here. The banana effect could propel Bitcoin to 300,000 compared to the previous cycle's price action. This theory suggests that Bitcoin might experience a significant surge. Are you ready for the ride? I do not know what the heck is a banana effect. It just sounds kind of funny, right? It makes me laugh a little bit, but I guess this banana effect means rocket Bitcoin, right? And rocket Bitcoin banana effect tells us that back in 2012, we saw the banana effect take us to over $100 Bitcoin. 2016 to 2017, $5,000, and 2020 taking us to $60,000 range. So it looks like their key area is $300,000 Bitcoin. So that would mean that we probably would have a year and a half left for some sort of Bitcoin run up or crypto run up, and I would hope that's the case, because that means a year and a half of easy money being poured in. Man, that sounds amazing. That sounds freaking amazing, right? So let's go ahead and look at this this other one right here. Exciting developments on ETH BTC pair. The stochastic RSI bullish divergence and a potential bounce from the lower end of the Bollinger Band suggests a reversal in the making. So apparently this is about to squeeze up, and we will be seeing Bitcoin or Ethereum start to pivot. So I guess that's the Ethereum Bitcoin dominance, and Ethereum looks like it's getting ready to run up, suggesting for an altcoin slash meme coin season, right? So that's good. Another one right here that we have, the ETC BTC chart, same thing. Altcoin season is near from another trader, suggesting the RSI is getting ready to run up. It broke out of this pattern, and it's suggesting that Bitcoin might have found its bottom on dominance, and we could be switching very, very soon to Ethereum dominance, suggesting an altcoin slash meme coin season, right? So I think that's very, very bullish. It's good to see other traders have some very similar analysis to what I'm saying. As I mentioned, I don't think $300,000 is going to be I don't want to say it's not possible, but I don't think 300,000 is going to happen. I'm suggesting more around 180 to 250, but I guess time will tell, right? So let's look into this Gari token and see what they have launched. Let me go ahead and head over to their website and see if they have talked about this new bot that they have. Let's go ahead and see. Where's their Twitter at? I'm looking for their Telegram bot. I don't see it. Where's your Telegram bot at? Is it the Gari's DAO? Is that what it's supposed to be? For room program. No. I don't see anything. Let's check their website. Yo, Chicago, how's it going, my guy? Hope you're having a good one. I too saw Ski Mask on the day of launch. It wasn't much different from the many other dog cat variations. Yeah, I'm kind of betting that Ski Mask dog is going to do good. I mean, I saw it, as I mentioned, I saw it dump all the way below 10 million plus market cap, I believe it dumped, and then I saw that reversal. So to me, it definitely shows that there's obviously interest in the token and there's hype about it, and I'm kind of betting on Ski Mask doing well. But as I mentioned, I haven't yet been invested into it, right? So hopefully we could go ahead and get a chance to do that. Dude, I can't freaking type. Trading bots. Yeah, you could try. Try posting the bot. Let's see if it goes through. Dude, this is freaking stupid, man. How does it not show up? It has the hype, you are not wrong. It's advertising the next beanie. Bye-bye. What is that? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Is that another token? I know. What is it, Beanie or is it Barney? Beanie Buy. It has a hype, you're not wrong. It's advertising? Is that what it says? Dude, I have like terrible allergies, man. Freaking eye. A question is, why is this Gari Telegram bot not showing up? Maybe it's under Medium articles. Burn updates for Gari token, roadmap, mining, live streaming, potential airdrop. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't know why it's not showing up. Beanie Babies, the stuff, toys by TY. Dude, I don't even know what Beanie Babies are. Is that bullish or what? I kind of want to search up Beanie Babies, but I'm a little like concerned that if I search it up, something weird's gonna happen. Let me see. What the heck is a Beanie Baby, man? Oh, okay, these are Beanie Babies. I didn't know they were called Beanie Babies. Interesting. So they're hyped based off of that? Yeah, you can send it to me on Twitter, bro. My Twitter is DeFi John. TY Beanie Baby. Interesting, man. Never even knew that's what they were called. I never knew that. You learn something new every day, man. You learn something new every day. But yeah, overall, we'll see where things go. This week's going to be a very important week overall. So it just really depends on how the market's going to react. I've been keeping my eyes on GameStop. As I told a lot of you, I broke even on GameStop, or I lost like $30 if I would have held. Literally, if I would have held for like another day, I would have been back up in profits. But I mean, it is what it is. I made a good decision putting it into Andy, and I'm already like 5x plus or 3x plus into my investment that I took from GameStop, throwing it into Andy. So it was a good decision, but it looks like GameStop is also going to have a run up very soon. This looks like a cup and handle pattern getting ready to break out to the upside. So we're going to go to see where this area is being respected. But as I mentioned, I only have a few tokens right now that I'm very bullish on base. That being Ski, Andy, Benny, GME, Brett. I'm gonna keep my eyes on Ski. I'm also gonna be considering into jumping into that. But my main bags right now are just Andy, Benny. CJ is another token I'm very bullish on. This thing hasn't really been doing much, but I hope we could get and squeeze out of this bottom right here. So it looks like volume is slightly coming in, and I wonder why. I'm gonna have to join their TG and see what's going on. We could be seeing an initial 7x run up with CJ. The thing that I find very interesting, though, I think this was a pre-sale, and just seeing this major pump and dump is quite concerning. I'm not gonna lie. So you could just tell the difference between like a pre-sale pump and dump and an actual community token, right? Like this is like a pre-sale pump and dump. Like unfortunately, I didn't think we were going to go this low, but I do think CG is still going to do good. Still has a decent community, still holding strong, but it is concerning when you see this kind of chart, right? I do expect this massive breakout happening, but if you were to compare it with the charts out there that are doing pretty good, and as I mentioned, this is because a team really does care about the charts, and they're doing their best to take care of it, right? Andy didn't have that bad of a freaking chart, man. I mean, look at this on the daily. Like literally these were healthy corrections with signs of the community being bullish. And even if the team's artificially pumping it, like good job on the team, right? Same thing with Benny. I believe this thing has been pretty well done. I mean, look at this. Like literally consolidate, pump, dump, but making new highs, right? When you start to see that it's some sort of insider, going on things like the team dumping on the community, this is what the chart usually looks like. You see an initial pump, a dump, another run up, and then a massive crash, and you usually never want to see these levels. This reminds me of like Solana tokens, bro. Like literally this pattern that we're looking at reminds me of Solana tokens. And I hate looking at charts like this. So I already got wrecked on base, Bowden. Hope this thing recovers. But look at Andy as, Ski Mask. Same thing with Ski Mask. I had an initial pump, dump, consolidated, another leg up, a dump, consolidated, another leg up. So this is bullish. You know, maybe it does dump back down to this range right here and it's a double top. Maybe this is a double top and it dumps back over here. But even then, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be scooping up and they're going to go ahead and wait for the next run up because the team is slowly dumping. They're not just like dumping their full bag on the community. So when I'm seeing tokens just have these massive pump and dumps where like they initially go well like this, a pre-sale, and then they dump. Same thing with Poon, bro. Like I bought in like within this range thinking this is the bottom, like around here I think, or right here, and it has just continued to dump. I bought in at 6 million market cap thinking that was the bottom, and it continues to dump. So like you have to be very, very careful. I've already lost a decent grip of money on base, getting into just straight rugs or just straight like freaking what is it called when they slowly start pulling out money like that. It's just a head slap, man. So I mean, Brits looks pretty good, but I think it's gonna be following Brett with the whole entire fear right now with what's gonna happen with Brett. So be careful. Brit might probably dump back down to like sub 1 million market cap and underneath, and I'm gonna be loading up on that. We're gonna see how the community holds on to that chart. But I do expect more selling pressure going into Brit. So this is kind of the thing and the problem we have with these derivatives is that when they do well, bro. They 20, 30, 40, 50 X's, but when they dump, they're going to dump very, very hard. And we've seen Brit do very well. I mean, it has done over a 30X. And we have now retraced over a 70% correction. And there's a possibility we could come back down sub under 1 million market cap, right? I'm sure that dip might get eaten up pretty quickly, but it also depends how low will Brett go. Do you think Brett will go ahead and approach 150 million market cap? I think it could, man. I think low key we might be seeing Brett at under around 150 million market cap and under, unless we see this reversal happen very soon. But we need to see this reversal happen very soon for Brett, or else we're going to go ahead and be left with another, as I mentioned, another 70% correction, which would take us to around 80 to 150 million market cap on Brett, which would be a buying opportunity in my opinion, right? So just be very, very careful. I do see more selling pressure unless we see a massive reversal, but we're seeing a lot of selling pressure on Brett, and I think it's going to continue, man. This is the reason why I was shorting Brett, and it faked me out. I should have just stuck to my freaking narrative, man, and I should have just been patient. And I actually did put my my short position right here, and then I got liquidated. So it's very manipulated right now, even with shorting, dude. There's a lot of volatility, but keep in mind, this dumpage is really coming in because of the short, because of the futures enabled and people shorting. FUD is part of it, just making it tank a little bit quicker. But don't be surprised if we do see Brett at under 150 million market cap. And I'm going to be like I told you guys, like, this was going to happen, and I don't want any of you to freak out. So just keep that in mind. There's a high probability 150 million market cap and underneath could be happening. Time will tell. Time will tell is what I got to say to that. Jalen, how's it going, Jalen? Hope you're having a good one. Bro, can't find your Twitter. What's your username? My dude, it just seems like I can't find freaking Gary's. You can't find my Twitter. It's DeFi John. So it's DeFi, DeFiJonn. Oh, I guess it's double N. I never realized that. Interesting. I guess that's something interesting I didn't even know about. So DeFi John, send me a direct message there, bro. Jalen, I'm doing good. How about yourself? What do you think of Boshi? Let's go ahead and take a look at Boshi. Boshi. Sounds pretty cool. Kind of sounds like Yoshi. Is that what it's supposed to be? Boshi Yoshi. About Boshi. Boshi is a blue Yoshi. Yeah, literally, literally, I thought so. Let's see. Let's look into what they have. I mean, it sounds cool. I'm sure it'll probably do good. It has a 985 million supply, which is a good sign. And the chart doesn't look bad, right? As I mentioned, I like to see these charts slightly climb up, right? I don't like seeing these charts just have a massive, it pumps and then it dumps 90% and it never like pumps back up, right? So I like to see what I'm looking at right now in this chart. I like how we're seeing this this massive where it pumps to 12x and then it corrects with a 80% correction and then it pumps up again another 3x. So this is a very similar chart that we're looking at compared to Andy and Benny, right? So it's looking pretty good. So I'm liking how the chart's looking. Holder count is at 1.71 thousand, 127,000 in 24-hour volume. It does seem like we are seeing a little bit of selling pressure, but more buying pressure is coming in. So it looks like there might be a possible reversal coming in for Boshi very, very soon. So keep that in mind. As I said, to me, I like to look more at the charts. I think the name might just take off because it's a blue Yoshi. I think that's really the only reason why. But I wouldn't really say the narrative is so strong. I could be wrong. Maybe there is a thing for Boshi, you know what I mean? Yoshi. But like it's not as strong as like the Andy narrative, right? Like the Pepe verse narrative. I'm not saying Boshi can't do well. I'm sure it will because it has under a billion supply and the charts look healthy. But I'm gonna keep this on my watch list and see how the market reacts. Like, but this thing could look pretty good and it could be a nice little trade, in my opinion. But I would say it's a good project, but I'm not 100% sold just yet, honestly. Mark Cuban 2019 said he would rather have bananas than Bitcoin in a YouTube video question and answer session. With Wired posted September 27, I could eat bananas, Bitcoin not so much, Cuban said. Well, I mean, Mark Cuban's an idiot. I think he's invested into Bitcoin now, and he probably bought the top. But also, Mark, like, dude, like, oh, I can't eat a banana compared to Bitcoin, bro. Like, can you eat real estate? Like, come on, bro. Come on, like, can you eat your digital money when you sell it to someone? Can you eat your Cash App? Can you eat an email? It's like, that's some ignorant stuff, man. This is what you gotta kind of watch out for is ignorance. Unfortunately, they kind of use these big public figures to kind of keep the retail away from these assets in order for big money players to take advantage of it. So this is why I'm telling you, don't listen to these influencers, don't listen to these celebrities, do your own analysis, do your own research, and always stick to what you believe in, right? As long as you have a strong conviction of it yourself, other people will eventually follow, right? If you really believe in something, people will eventually believe in you as well, right? So just believe in yourself and eventually people will adopt to it, right? So if friends and families don't believe in crypto, then that's on them, bro. There's so much you could go ahead and do, and they're gonna regret it when they see you living that and having that financial freedom that they wish they would have had, and they wish they would have taken that risk when you told them, right? And it's gonna come back to the point where you're like, I told you so, and you're living life, right? So there's so much you could go ahead and do for people that are not willing to help themselves, right? So that's one thing I've learned. I do feel bad about, you know, what's going on in the world worldwide, and how people could really change their lives through educating themselves more about blockchain and educating themselves more about anything in general. But people would rather know what's going on with Cardi B and what's going on with Pip Diddy and Chris Brown and what's going on with the Kardashians, bro. So see, I don't feel bad for people like that. Like, if we're not willing to put in the work and learn and understand the data that we're looking at, like right now, see, you guys are going to make a lot of money if you guys haven't already, right? So all of us right here putting in that work, looking at the charts, looking at the data, you guys are gonna make it, right? We're gonna make it all. The people that are not willing to do this, I can't feel bad for them, right? So you can only help those that are willing to help themselves, and that's something that I learned I could sit here and give you facts, data to a lot of these things. I've called a lot of tops and bottoms on Bitcoin, crypto overall, and people will only want to listen to what they want to listen to. So regardless of the case, as I mentioned, a lot of the data that I do it not only to remind myself, but to also go ahead and spread that awareness to those that want to make a change, right? If you're not willing to listen or make a change, that's on you, bro. There's nothing I can do, and nothing's gonna save you, right? And that's how it is with a lot of people, right? All you can do is just spread your awareness, show love back, and you know, some people might appreciate it, some might not, right? They might never see the value in it. And that's kind of like where I feel with base. You know, a lot of people, like a lot of you early on, were going to make a lot of money because we were willing to risk and bet on something we truly believed. And by the time we're making a lot of money and we're exiting liquidity on all the retail, we're going to be enjoying the gains. And we're going to be like, we told you so, bro. You should have considered understanding how to play around with base tokens, but you didn't. And you got head slammed. And I can't feel bad for you, because the information was out there, right? So there's so much we could go ahead and do, man. And like I mentioned, it is what it is. And we're going to see where things go. As I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to make money. And this isn't a time to make money, right? And if people don't see it, there's nothing you could do about it. Andy on base is so chill. I agree with you, hedge fund. Buddy, they have officially GariBot page on Twitter. Where is it? Like, what page is it, though? Can you, like, tag me in it? Is this your Twitter? Is this you? Can you confirm this is you, bro? And if so, can you send me the tweet so I could talk about Gary? We see today how they swung support from Brett to Andy. It's totally advertising that influencing buyers. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I texted you. Check your DM, buddy. I'll check right now. Chicago says the reason I posted that this is because I was seeking an explanation for the banana effect. Cuban has been doing crypto publicly since 2021. Is that what the banana effect is? I didn't know that. See, I learned something new every day. So that makes sense of the banana effect. It kind of sounds like a meme, right? I'm surprised no one has made it a meme yet. GariBot. Okay, GariBot on Twitter. Let's go ahead and see this. Of course, it is a bot for traders by traders. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check it out. I just don't understand why they're not advertising it on their Twitter directly like they should. They should also advertise it directly on their website, which would have also been a nice thing for anybody that's looking for it, right? Major portions issue to burn. That's pretty good. So they're doing something very similar to what BonkBot is doing. So it's good to know there's some sort of utility behind it. You can earn the rewards as well, so that's pretty cool. So they're doing pretty much what a lot of these trading bots do. So I think it's a pretty good awareness for Gari holders, especially to those that might not be exposed to trading bots. I think that's definitely some sort of utility that could get people to not only educate themselves on how to use them, because you'll be surprised how many people don't know how to use trading bots, bro. Like, I'm freaking surprised. I'm like, dude, how are you trading Solana shitcoins without a trading bot? And you'll be surprised with how many people don't. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I'm using the best of the best tools. Like, I'm using Photon. I'm using what is it? I think it's called Soul Trading Bot. I don't know what the heck it's called, man. It's been a few weeks since I've dabbled into Solana plays, which I'll definitely be making some videos on the tools that I use to trade, because I don't trade on the exchanges when it comes to these Solana meme tokens. So in the next coming weeks, I don't know, maybe this month, maybe next month, I'll go ahead and show you all how you can really be trading and sniping Solana tokens early on, right? A lot of you that have been in this degen space, might be already aware of how to go ahead and do that, so it's no surprise. But I know how to look for these tokens before they go live. I know how to snipe them, and that's something I'm definitely going to be showing all of you how to do. I'm also using Photon, which is on base, which I'll make a video on how to use on Photon. But Photon is also a sniping bot that you could go ahead and use for base, specifically for base. So let me see if I can rank out that video this week. I have a lot of content to do, bro. A lot of content that I'm falling behind. But I do appreciate all of you showing love, man. I literally just started this channel 2 weeks ago. Overall, this channel has been out for over 2 years since last bull run. I think almost going into 3. But as far as starting new fresh content, I just started about 2 weeks ago. So I appreciate all of you showing the love, and I'm trying to do my best to provide you as much education as possible, and try to give you the best tools that I've known, and how I've gotten wrecked, right? I've actually launched a few tokens with a group of friends last couple months ago on Solana. So I know a lot of these inside tricks that these influencers play. I know the ball game. I know a lot of the deep stuff inside that most people might not be aware because they've never launched tokens, right? So I understand the difficulty, the cost it comes to when it comes to launching tokens on exchanges. So I'm pretty well educated when it comes to the back end stuff of how all of this really goes, right? I wouldn't say I'm the best, but I would say I'm pretty well educated, and I know more than the average person. So I definitely know I could provide some value to all you guys, whether that's directly on DeFi or just the overall fundamentals of how the market moves, right? So keep in mind, like, I will be pumping some fire content where a lot of you could take advantage, and my goal is to go ahead and build this community where we could go ahead and share alpha with one another, right? We just got the alpha with that, what is it called? Boshi, yeah. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on Boshi, see how this chart's respected. I'm all about freaking data, man, and numbers. There's one thing that I've learned is that people lie, numbers don't. People lie, data doesn't, right? So monitors people's actions, not their words. So we have to go ahead and see where things go, and that's kind of the person that I am. I like to eyeball things before I really get into, because I've gotten wrecked way too many freaking times on meme tokens, so I'm a little bit more skeptical when it comes to jumping in right away. But when it comes to trades, it's something I gotta learn with leverage trading, because I forget they do the same shit, the same games they play, they do it on this as well. So I'll definitely be coming out with some content on that as well. But let's go ahead and see what other comments we have going on. What are your thoughts on this Gary bot, man? I'm impressed. Let's see. I'm pretty impressed, bro. Like I said, I mean, the bot's nothing. It's nothing unique. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's nothing unique. The bot's not unique. BunkBot has done it. I've used a lot of trading bots in the past when it came to Solana trading. And there's only one that I'm using right now. There's actually two. One of the best ones being, in my opinion, is Photon, which I'm going to go ahead and share with you right now. And I will go ahead and do some deep dive analysis into how to use this platform and how to actually use it and snipe tokens. But one of these tools that I've used is called Photon, right? And Photon, you could actually go ahead and use multiple you could trade multiple blockchains. They just added Ethereum recently with Blast alongside Base. So I'll be making a video on how to use this tool, but I was using this a lot when I was trading Solana shitcoins, and 9 times out of 10, actually like 9.5 out of 10, your transactions go through using Photon. It might be a little bit pricier because you got to pay these market makers a little bit of fees in order for them to give you the priority of filling up your order. But dude, look at this. Tell me this is not revolutionary. Like tell me another trading bot that you use that has an interface as if you were trading on freaking Mexi or Bybit. Nowhere else. You don't get this nowhere else, in my opinion. I heard Soulflare is something very similar, but dude, nothing compares to this. where you can just go ahead and instantly buy and sell, and it does it very, very quickly, right? And it also tells you your percentage of how much you've invested and how much you're in profits, right? As you see, my last trade was chicken, and it went to a 2,000 market cap, bro. So this is why I don't trade Solana shitcoins anymore, bro, because I got tired of getting rugged. Like, this is doing Solana, bro, is like worse than like going to the casino, I think. Because like 9 out of 10 times you're gonna get rugged pulled, bro. That's just the reality of Solana. I've made a decent amount of money on Solana, and I thought you could just continue to do it, but eventually you end up losing all your money because this game's not fair. Solana meme tokens are totally rigged against you. You have literally no chance of literally making it unless you have insider scoop, right? So, and that's someone that knows how to trade. So I know how to read charts, and reading charts on Solana tokens, dude, doesn't freaking work. So I kind of gave up on Solana meme tokens like this. It doesn't mean I won't trade the top Solana meme tokens. But you could also do it with base. Like, I'm gonna switch over to base and I'm gonna show you guys. And now this is on base. So the only position I'm holding on to on base right here is Bowden. And as you can see on Bowden, you can see how much I'm actually up. And you could actually share this. So this is really cool, right? So you could go ahead and share how much you're in profits and how much you invested and how much you're up, right? So my current profit right now is 30 cents. Keep in mind, I threw in $70 at this market cap a few weeks ago. So I'm actually at losing money on this position. But anyways, with what I'm saying, Photon, if any of you have ever used this is the tool to snipe tokens early freaking on, bro. Like, look at this right here. I would snipe this, but it's probably a little too late, and I'll probably get rugged pulled. But let's see if we could throw in some little bit of money. How much is this, dude? I don't even think I have enough money to place a trade. Let's give it a try. 0.0014. We're gonna see if we can buy it. And I don't even have enough money to buy it, bro. Let's see, 1.5. Oh wait, 110. Still not enough. What about 0.8? Still not enough. What about 0.5? All right, it's going through, guys. Yes, executed. Let's see if we could turn Ninja into $200 now. I don't know how much I put in. I put in a very small. I'm already up 2%. So that's freaking cool, bro. Maybe you guys might see me make some money live, or you might see me get rugged live, right? So I guess I invested about $1. Honestly, man, being honest with you, I don't even think I'll be able to exit my position even if I'm in profits. So, man, I hope we're going to be able to exit this position. I don't think we even will have enough to exit this position even if we wanted to with Ninja, right? So I don't know what the heck Ninja is. They probably haven't even been. Do they have a website? Let's go ahead and do some degen stuff. This is some real degenerate stuff, man. Like, this is the way you make a lot of money, but you also lose a lot of money, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see where things go right here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look for the smart contract. We're either gonna make a lot of money live, or we're gonna get rugged pulled. It's one of those two things. Like, that's just how this game works. It's, you throw your money into something and you cross and hope cross your fingers and hope that it's going to moon. That's really what's bullish about it. You know, there's really nothing else. Token just got launched 3 minutes ago, so I'm either gonna make a lot of freaking money live, and I might turn $1 into thousands of dollars, or I might turn $1 into $0 and I just got rugged. So we're gonna see where things go. I haven't officially been rugged like right off the bat with base tokens, so it'll also be a first. So we'll see. I mean, people are aping in freaking fat bags, which I don't ever trust to begin with. But do you see how valuable freaking Photon is, bro? Like I'm up already 15% live. Which, imagine if I would have put in like $100, right? That would have been a nice little trade to enter and get out, something you wouldn't be able to do on 1inch or Uniswap, right? Because you'll probably get wrecked. Now, the thing is, when you're doing this, you have a high risk of getting rugged. There's a high probability, a 99.9%, you might get rugged. Or maybe this thing moons so high that you make your money and you exit in profits. So that's the pros and cons with this, right? So we're gonna see if our dollar could turn into $1,000. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe we do that, right? That'd be pretty cool. But if any of you want to go ahead and use Photon, use my referral link. I'm gonna go ahead and show you that, because apparently they're saying that we will be getting some sort of, what is it called? Frick. Apparently they're going to be doing an airdrop for Photon. So if you use my link, and the more people that use my link, and the more you share your own link, the higher the chance and the probability is that we get airdrop Photon tokens. That is the word in crypto. That's what people are saying. I don't know how true that is. As I said, keep this in mind. I don't know. I'm going based off like what I've been hearing. They're saying that they're saying that thing is that it's going to do an airdrop. So time will tell where things are going to be heading. I don't know if they're going to do a Photon airdrop, but as I mentioned, use my link. You could use it with Solana as well, Blast, Ethereum. And then you could go ahead and share that with all your friends and families, your dogs including, and put them onto Photon, dude. Because if you're not trading on Photon with these meme tokens, you're literally like missing out on things, man. So I'm already up 39% on Ninja, which is surprising, dude. I'm honestly quite surprised. But as I mentioned, I think this might be a rug pulled, and I don't think I would be able to even take out profits. And my profits are 62 cents. So I put in $1. Hopefully we come back to $1,000, but check out Photon. As I mentioned, I'll do a deep dive analysis of later down the line of how you could go ahead and snipe tokens on base. But man, base tokens right now, with sniping them earlier on, it's like a 99.9% that you're gonna get rugged. As you see, a lot of these tokens literally don't last for more than like 2 minutes, man. I mean, this one lasted 9 minutes, which kind of goes within the realms of Solana, right? Solana typically had an age of about 15 minutes, and typically within 15 minutes the project was dead, right? So it seems like sniping a lot of these base tokens are within around the same range of where tokens don't last no more than like 15 minutes. So just be very, very careful. I wouldn't suggest any of that, but what I would suggest using Photon is to make trades, right? Most of my tokens right now, I'm holding on to just MetaMask. I just left it there. That way I don't have the urge to trade my freaking wallet. I have that tendency to want to trade and get FOMO and sometimes like exit my position. So like the only position that I have on right here is Bowden. Just to keep track of how my position is doing. But this thing's trash, bro. Like, I'll have hopes and I'll be lucky if I ever break even back into this. But I thought it was pretty fire, but I guess it wasn't. You know, apparently it wasn't fire. Apparently it just dumps. So just be very, very careful. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're up already 64%. Dude, imagine putting in $100. You literally flipped it almost into 100. And I'm already up 71%. So we're about to make $1 right now live, which we'll probably won't be able to take out, man. There's a high probability we won't be able to take it out because of the fees. I just won't have enough money to make this transaction. But you just saw me live how I flipped $1 into $1. So but there's something funky going on in here. There's no way people are just not selling, man. So liquidity pool, this is interesting. Okay, the liquidity pool, 67% is owned, $9,000 in value. What they're probably gonna do is they're gonna get more people to pump in. They're gonna get excited and they're gonna be like, damn, bro, this thing's going to the moon. And they're probably just gonna pull the rug. So we might see this continue to run and then just see a massive rug. But usually what the red flag is when you see a lot of buying pressure, like you see no selling pressure. That usually means that they're artificially like bringing people in, like making them think that it's gonna go up higher, and you're like, oh snap, dude, like my $100 is now $200. Let me go ahead and throw in 1,000. So by the time people get more greedy and people throw in more money, that's usually when the rug happens, right? So this is probably a rug, man. Like I'm saying, I'm just getting the signs of seeing more buying pressure than selling. But I don't know, man. Maybe I got it into a banger, and and I might be the next story where I turn a dollar into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I guess time will tell. But yeah, that's how you use Photon. I'll do another deeper analysis, I guess, or tutorial on using that. But yeah, Gari is pretty cool, man. Um, I think that. I mean, I've seen Gari change from these last couple months, so it's good to see a project actually doing something. But besides the fact, I mean, that's pretty much it. As I mentioned, this week's going to be a big week for crypto. Time will tell on Wednesday how the stock market reacts, and we're gonna go ahead and see where things really go moving forward, right? I'm still betting on my positions on Andy. I'm still betting on my base positions, and the market's still giving us bullish behavior. So Wednesday we'll know what's really going on in this market. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Vernon, how's it going, bro? Hope you're having a good one. Long time no see. What's up, John? Sorry I haven't been there. I've been super busy with school at the moment. Nice, bro. How you been doing? Chicago says stop doing 91% leverage and getting wrecked. Perhaps you'll have more in the wallet. Yeah, 100%, bro. I was leverage trading with some free money that I got, but yes, I agree with you. See, the thing is, man, it's you can make a lot of money leverage trading meme tokens, which I've done it. I did the 100,000. I did $100 into 20 grand in like 2 weeks with Pepe too. But the market's not the same, man. It's super volatile. So like even with leverage, it's also a recipe for you to get wrecked, right? So right now I'm not leverage trading. I'm chilling. I was playing around with leverage because I got a new offer from a new exchange, which I'll probably be signing up with them soon. But yeah, leverage trading is almost a scam too as well. So just be very, very careful. But if you're trading Bitcoin when it's actually going in your favor, you can make a lot of freaking money, man. I made some decent trades last week. Not crazy ones, like nothing to like brag about, but I made a small little trade on a few of them, and it was this one right here. I did this short right here, 91%, 18%. I did a few on Blofin, 39%. 5x is the best way to go, by the way. You want to stay under 10x is typically what you want to do. Even with this, as you see, 5x. But I guess I completely forgot, and I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and use freaking 20x. And I was like, dude, why was I doing a 20x leverage on this? So, yeah, just be careful. You want to do 50x and above on the higher cap altcoins, but you want to stay under 100x if it's not Bitcoin, right? So I wouldn't suggest leverage trading meme tokens with no more than 10x. 5x is a sweet spot. 20x, you can make a lot of freaking money, man. But that's how you get wrecked. So yeah, right now I'm not leverage trading. I'm just holding on to base tokens, man. I really don't care where this market goes. I'm chilling like a chinchilla. I know time will pay off, and I mean, my investment I threw into base, I'm already in profits. I started with like $300 to $400. My portfolio is over at $2,500, and I know my portfolio in the next run up is going to be about 20,000 plus. So I'm really not worried. I'm chilling. I got into my positions early. I took the risk. And yeah, we just got to be patient and wait for the narrative to play off. And also as well too, man, I forgot to mention, Slothana had a pre-sale, which I kind of think it might be a scam, man. Oh my god, I've been getting into too many scam pre-sales, bro. But I don't know, man. We'll see where things go. Let me know down below if any of you got into Slothana's Solana coin back in April, I think it was, or March. So it's been a little bit over a month. They obviously have good marketing, but you know, I'm not convinced. I've gotten scammed multiple times already with these pre-sales. Actually, once with base, and it looked cool. The pre-sale looked like it was gonna do well. It raised a lot of money, and guess what? It dumped. So we're gonna see where Slothana goes. When I throw my money into these tokens, I already consider it a loss, and that's the kind of mindset you should have as well. Like as soon as I threw in I didn't throw in that much. I threw in about $200 worth of SOL at the time, which is nowhere near the amount right now, but that's how much I threw in at the time. It was at $200 Solana. I think it was like 210, 212. I threw in one Solana worth, and yeah, we'll see if this project is the biggest scam in the world or is going to be the biggest freaking pre-sale winner ever, you know? And if that's the case, man, dude, that's going to be my home run play that I've been waiting for these last couple months. I haven't hit a home run in a cool minute. I've hit multiple, but I've been getting wrecked more. So besides my base portfolio has been doing pretty well so far, but on Solana, man, if I hit it on this one, that's gonna be very, 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 very cool. I mean, I don't know what else I could say. With these tokens, when you go into pre-sale, just consider them a loss, man. Honestly, it's just you throwing your money and burning it. Like that's literally what you're doing. It's like if you ever gone to a it's like literally just burning money, man. You do a pre-sale, you burn your money. You're like throwing it in the trash. It's a 99.9% that you're going to lose your money. So mentally, I'm nowhere attached to this token at all, this pre-sale. Apparently, it's going to come out, what, May 4th? Cool. Time will tell. I'm not excited. I really don't care. I'll probably make a video, but we'll see where things go, dude. I honestly have lost a lot of hope when it comes to a lot of these pre-sales. It's like, I don't even get excited about this anymore. This might prove me wrong, man, but my time in crypto, and I've been to sales 17, I've only had a handful of good pre-sales I've done well, and that's probably like 3. So that kind of tells you how this space is with pre-sales. They're 9 out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, dude, they're going to do 0. They're going to go to 0. They're just going to die. So that's the reality of things. Or people are restricted from selling a wallet at Addy Blacklist. Thanks, mate. Of course, man. I've been doing good personally, but crypto-wise, not so much. Have you made that milli yet? Nah, not yet, bro. I'll do it by the end of the bull run. I should be up 10 million plus. I'm still waiting for you to fly me out to your private island, bro. Make it happen. This guy said I'm waiting for you to fly me out to your private island after what is going on with freaking, I was gonna say Jeffrey Dahmer, Epstein and freaking Diddy. Like going to this arcade and trying to win those rigged games. No, yeah, dude, 100%, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've talked to my mentor and I'm like, dude, there's no way we're not going to be able to end the year with at least 1 million plus. There's no way we can't do that, you know? So unfortunately, I had to restart my portfolio multiple times because I got wrecked. But I'm not worried, man. I know I'm going to make it back. Trust me, dude. I'm almost there. I'm really not, but there's nothing you can do about it, man. I know base is going to pay off really well, and I know base is going to bless everybody. So I'm betting on base that it's going to do well, and I'm betting on other opportunities in my life that I'm sure are going to come, and same thing goes to all of you, that we're going to make a lot of money. So I'm not worried. I'm pretty confident that we're going to make a lot of money. Last time I made a lot of freaking money, it feels exactly like I feel exactly the same way when I got into GameStop and AMC early on during summer of like around July. I didn't even know what Wall Street Bets was, man. I didn't know about anything about this whole entire Reddit thing with GameStop and AMC until I watched the movie like a few months ago, like 4 or 5 months ago. I think it was called what is it called? Frick. Dumb Money. I didn't know any of that until I just watched the movie, but I was early on into GameStop and AMC because I understood the fundamentals to it, right? So I'm the type of person that if I'm very confident in what I'm saying, and this is like literally a 9 out of 10, right? I spot on always hit it. Like every time I'm super confident in a play, it always pays off very, very well. There hasn't been a time where I'm actually, I'll take that back. There's been plenty of times, but usually when I feel this like level of confidence in what I'm doing and in me specifically in the trade, like 9 out of 10, like 9.5 out of 10, it always plays off really, really well. So, and this thing happened to me, the same exact feeling that I'm having with base right now and Andy and all these other tokens, but specifically base, is the same feeling when I remember during the scandemic. I was going back to work and I had about $1,000 saved up, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it into the stock market because that's what I've been doing, forever, but I always get wrecked, but I'm going to do it different this time. I told myself I wasn't going to touch options, but guess what? I ended up touching options again anyways. So I got some options into GameStop, AMC early on, man. I'm talking you sub $8 to $6 on GameStop. And this was before anybody was making videos on YouTube. Like there was only one guy that made a video on YouTube and everybody was bashing on GameStop. That GameStop wasn't going to do anything. And there was no other influencer talking about anything. The influencers started coming in like late November, I think it was. I can't remember. I wasn't looking at influencers for GameStop and AMC. I didn't even know about it until it actually happened, right? But anyways, I was betting on GameStop and AMC and Neo. If any of you remember Neo stock, a Chinese of Tesla, I got in at Neo at $13 options. I think they were lead contracts. Keep in mind, a lot of these contracts I got in were like half a year out. So the age and the maturity of them were freaking solid, bro. Well, anyways, long story short, I turned 1K into like 60K in like 6 months, trading options with my full-time job at the time, being a sales. I was selling jewelry, so I was a jeweler, and that's when I'm like, dude, like, and I believed so much in what I was doing because I remember that time clearly, man. I remember that time clearly, and at this time, I remember my mom's like, you should probably go ahead and get like a little beater car with the money you have, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, I am not settling for less. Like, I'm gonna get me a nice car because I know I'm going to be able to flip this money into thousands of dollars. And yeah, that's exactly what I ended up doing. I mean, long story short, I ended up getting a Lexus. I remember that time. I got screwed by the dealer, but that's a whole another story. But yeah, and I was like, no, I know this is going to pop off. Like, I'm very confident in the next coming months, I'll be able to make enough money to possibly buy one of the cars that I've always wanted, and I strongly believed in myself so much that play paid off. And that's the same feeling that I'm having with base right now. It's like that early opportunity that no one's talking about, but just wait till all these influencers, retail starts pouring in, and we're going to be cashing in freaking fat bags, bro. Trust me on this. This is all factual data. This is not just me thinking this is going to happen. This will happen. And you're going to come back to this video. If you're not exposed to base tokens yet, you're going to be like, damn, man, I should have listened to John when he was talking about Andy being at 22 million. And you're going to want to be buying in at like 1 billion. And you're going to be our exit liquidity. So for everybody that's in base already, and everybody starts jumping in late when it's already at 1 billion and it's already listed in all top exchanges, we're going to be dumping our bags on you to enjoy our nice islands and our nice vehicles and boats and vacations because you decided to buy the top and you decided to be our exit liquidity, right? So, yeah, you decide where you want to be. Do you want to be our exit liquidity, or do you want to be riding the wave where we look for that exit liquidity on somebody else, right? That's a reality of the game, man. Someone makes money, someone loses money. You choose what side you want to be in. Do you want to be in the winning side, or do you want to be on the losing side, right? So with that being said, this is all factual data that base is going to do well unless some crazy nuclear warfare comes in where, there's fear of the world collapsing and the world ending, which is not going to happen, just FYI. Then yeah, that narrative is not going to play off. But as we talked about, Andy on ETH hit over 180 million plus market cap. It is close to a trillion in supply. Is being pushed by heavy influencers already listed on exchanges. And Andy on base is not there yet. It has only have a few influencers, nothing too crazy. And just wait till the bigger influencers start shilling this, so we could get some exit liquidity to dump, right? So that's really where you want to do. You want to front run a lot of these positions. So I'm definitely looking forward till we have that next talk, and hopefully this hopefully this play pays off, man. If not, I called AMC on Solana too. I mean, freaking Vernon remembers this, man. He remembers this exactly. I called it at 150,000 market cap. I'm telling you, there's a lot of plays that I might call wrong, but the ones that I do call right usually make up. Like, they're home runs, bro. Like, usually the plays that I do get correct usually outdo my losses. Literally, that it's happened to me so many freaking times, and it's not luck. I've hit it so many freaking times, bro, that I could tell you so many plays that I've hit home runs in multiple times. GameStop, AMC. I didn't even know about Reddit. I just found out about this Wall Street Bets thing literally a few months ago because I was watching Dumb Money. GameStop, freaking AMC, Neo, Riot, Mara, which are miners in Bitcoin. I got some contracts at like $500, flipped them for 10 grand last bull run. I got in early into a few pre-sales. What else did I hit last bull run? I think on Bitcoin I got wrecked mostly, but during the stock market I made a lot of good plays because I was before the top of the market. Yeah, so that's mostly my biggest play these last couple years. I would say was GameStop, AMC, Riot, Mara, and Neo were my biggest plays that I hit. And then for crypto, so far this bull run, my bigger plays have been I hit some nice little bags on Pepe 2.0. I hit that one really nice. Then I got wrecked with Grok on leverage, dumbest thing I would have ever done. But Pepe 2 did really well for me too. I stayed with that conviction, and I wish I would have kept on holding on to Pepe. But Pepe ended up getting close to hitting $1 billion, I think. A lot of people made money on that. Pepe 2.0, bro. Literally a couple months ago, just took off. I wish I would have stayed in it, but I didn't. But I made my money on that token, so I was cool. I was chilling like a chinchilla. And what other token that I called? I guess AMC, which I round tripped. Never again. That's when I got into the Solana meme tokens, bro. And I learned a lot about Solana after I round tripped AMC. But that one I made like 10 grand out of $300. I wish I would have sold. But I didn't know the Solana game that they played, that it's like a quick little run. On Solana, these tokens have different kinds of plays. You know, Solana, you just make your nut and you're out, dude. You don't want to hold on to like Solana tokens. Like, I'd be fearful of holding on to a Solana token. Like with Andy, like I go to sleep comfortably, man, because I know what I'm gonna wake up to. Like one day, it's gonna be worth hundreds of thousands and possibly even millions, right? So I go to sleep comfortably in bed knowing that I'm holding on to Andy on base. But with Solana, dude, I'd go to sleep panicking, knowing that I might wake up to getting rugged. That was very, very common on Solana, right? So these plays play their game, right? So you just have to know. But yeah, maybe the next play I called is Andy on base. And we do hit towards that 1 billion market cap. It's very possible, man. Very, very possible. No hype around it. We're already at 22 million market cap. We're going to be an 80 to 60 million market cap in no time. And more people are going to buy in. The higher it goes, the more people are going to buy. So it's going to be a lot quicker once we start getting towards those crazy market caps and influencers start finding out what Andy on base is and the true value behind it. And the fact that it has a smaller supply. And it's going to be some good times. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see if there's any more questions that anybody has. Time for me to dabble with base already. Solana still got me on chokehold. Dude, Vernon, please, man. Please, I beg you, bro. As a friend, Get the F away from Solana. Solana is going to lose you money, guys. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, if you guys want to keep on having that gamble thing with Solana where you hope the token that you got into, you know, does very well, Solana is not only super saturated, it's super controlled by a lot of these influencers. And I'm not saying Base isn't. Base is as well. But it hasn't gone to that point yet. It hasn't gone to the point where Solana is at right now. I'm sure eventually Base will get to the point where every token you jump into Base might be a rug pull, kind of like right now. But with Solana, dude, you're probably gonna lose more money than you're gonna make money. I know people still make money on Solana, but I think it's more of a gambling bet, man. This is more of a, like, I don't like to say this is a guarantee, but this is close to being a guarantee that Base is gonna succeed. It's Coinbase's blockchain, bro. Common sense. Anyways, enough with the rant. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, grab some food, probably make some content. Should probably get back to work too. But with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you for supporting this new channel. For a lot of you that do know, my previous channel, having to start all over again, but we've literally been growing a lot quicker. And I've been growing a better community. No offense to my previous community, but this new community that I have with this channel, I'm actually loving it, right? So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate all of you. I appreciate all your support. Make sure to use Blofin down below, no KYC. And I have actually a few partnerships already on the line. VPN that I already made a deal with. I just need to post my link. And a few other exchanges that I've partnered with or I'm going to partner with. Most of these being no KYC, right? So definitely go ahead and support the channel.